Welcome back to the channel. I am David and thank you for being here. Let's get into chapter 5. Before we do though, would you mind subscribing to our channel? Make sure you watch a video, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, then subscribe to the channel. We would greatly appreciate that. And thank you for being here. Chapter 5, right? Chapter 5. Lies My Doctor Told Me by Dr. Ken Berry. If you're following along with the series, I greatly appreciate that. Chapter 5, cholesterol really your enemy? Is cholesterol really your enemy? The quote for this chapter I actually really like. It doesn't matter how beautiful your theory is. It doesn't matter how smart you are. If it doesn't agree with the experiment, then it's wrong. The lie for this chapter is high cholesterol levels in your blood are dangerous and increase your risk of heart attack. You should eat less saturated fat and take cholesterol medicine if your cholesterol level is above normal. That's the lie for this chapter. Why should you care? Simply because nobody wants a heart attack. Nobody wants to worry about a heart attack. So that should be very important to us to keep our heart healthy. And as somebody who lives with heart failure, this is extremely important to me. If you're taking an expensive and potentially dangerous pill every day to lower your cholesterol, thus to prevent heart attack, you want that pill to do what it is advertised to do, which is to lower the risk of having a heart attack. That's why we should care. If, on the other hand, high cholesterol levels do not increase heart attack risk, then why are we taking medicine? Support for the lie. I find this one really interesting, guys. I really do. So what he's talking about here, there are hundreds of research studies and thousands of TV commercials that telling us that our cholesterol levels are too high and that we must take drugs to lower the cholesterol levels, right? The cholesterol level considered to be normal has been reduced several times over the years. It started out 50 years ago saying that 300 was the level. Then the drug companies did another study. They lowered it to 250, then 240, the drug companies' recommendations, of course. And remember, why would the drug companies care about this? Because who is paying, to buy all those drugs, right? Who's making the money here? Now it's down to 200. So you got to ask yourself, is it a business deal? Why we keep lowering it? Or is it truly for our health? I do believe in questioning everything. I really do. So let's talk about the common sense section of the chapter. He goes on to tell us the common sense concerning this life is much different from what the doctors and the media have taught us. Cholesterol is essential for all animal life. Without cholesterol, none of the cells in your body, including those making up your heart and brain, would function properly. Your body also uses cholesterol as a framework molecules to make vitamin D and all of your sex hormones. Let's talk about the research section. In this section, he's referring back to our good old friend Dr. Keyes and his study from the 1950s that started a complete revolutionary change in medicine backed by big pharmaceutical companies back then. Remember, Dr. Keyes is the guy that did the 22-country study and only published the results of 7 of them when the others contradicted what he said. One thing he wants to point out about Dr. Keyes' research is nobody has ever been able to reproduce his results. Here's something very important to understand. In 2015, the USA Dietary Guidelines Committee reported very plainly that they were not supporting the 300 to 250 lower your cholesterol science, the theory. They weren't supportive of that in 2015. So this is no longer the case. The theory that you got to have your cholesterol below 300, apparently the USDA guideline committee reported that's not accurate, and they're not going to support that theory. A Japanese study in 2015 reported that high cholesterol does not lead to heart disease and protects against many illnesses, including cancer. The study found an inverse relationship between all-cause mortality and cholesterol levels. What does this mean? It means the higher your cholesterol level, the less likely you are to die. You read that right. Very low cholesterol levels in association with an increased risk of dying. So what they're saying is, if it's too low, your cholesterol level, it's harmful to the body, which kind of makes sense. In the takeaway section of the chapter, he wants us to realize that back in 1961, Dr. Keyes appeared on the cover of Time magazine with his study describing how the dietary fat had been proven to cause high cholesterol, which led to increased rates of heart disease. For the next 50 years, doctors and patients frantically try to lower their cholesterol levels with a pill, 2 or 3. But however, in 2014, butter was on the cover of Time magazine. Yes, butter, he says. An article that accompanied was about how medical science has gotten everything wrong for decades, that fat and cholesterol in your diet do have no effect whatsoever on cholesterol levels or heart disease. It only took 50 years for them to prove that Dr. Keyes' study was faulty. So here's kind of what we have is Dr. Keyes' study is faulty, no good. We have a lot of research showing us that too low of a cholesterol level is bad. And we have plenty of common sense logic that tells us that we need cholesterol in the body and to be processed for multiple purposes in the body. He's asking you to talk to your doctor, do more studying about these lower, like statins, and he's recommending that everybody gets off of it because he believes the side effect, the negative effect of statins and these heart cholesterol medicines are worse than having the cholesterol, which is not a bad thing. And the do as I do section, I never give much thought to the cholesterol content of any food, so he doesn't even think about it. I eat as my ancestors would have eaten thousands of years ago, and I let my body take care of the rest. Although my diet is cholesterol filled, my cholesterol levels are always within the normal range. And this is the normal range that we have been told by the big pharmaceutical companies. So he doesn't worry about it. He lets nature take its course. The homework section, he's going to give us a couple more books to read. Book number 1, The Great Cholesterol Myth by Johnny Bowden. Book number 2, The Cholesterol Myths, Exposing the Fallacy that Saturated Fats and Cholesterol Cause Heart Disease. So that was chapter 5. I hope you enjoyed the video, and remember to like, subscribe, and share, and thank you for watching. And I will see you in chapter 6.